Next up, I want to add in our call to action button. So I'll go back up to the plus icon and I'm going to look for the button widget here. I'm going to drag that underneath our text and drop it in right here. And we'll see our CTA button here. I'm going to change the text from click here to say shop now. And for my website, that's my call to action. With this button, I'm telling my website visitor what I want them to do. For most e-commerce websites, that's going to be shop now or buy now. But in your case, it may be a little bit different. So type in a call to action that makes sense for your website here. With that done, let's click into the Style tab. And here you're able to change a few things about your button style. You can change the position here. You can also click into the typography settings, and I'm able to change the font to match the rest of the fonts on our page. So I'll change this to Poppins. And we're also able to change the text and button color. For the colors on this website, I used this website called Figma to generate a color palette. I recommend using a color palette generator like this, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to this exact color palette generator. And this is where I'm going to be pulling in some of the colors for my e-commerce website. So I'm going to start by changing out the button color. I'm going to click on this icon here, and then I'm going to paste in my hex code. So now I have this nice brown button here. I think this color looks pretty good because it blends in with our background image and makes the page feel a bit more cohesive. So right now, if I take my mouse and I hover over my button, nothing interesting really happens. And that's why we have the hover settings here. So let's click into hover. And now we have the exact same settings for whenever our mouse is hovering over the button. So for example, here I could go into color, I can paste in that same hex code, and then I can take the color slider and make it just slightly brighter. So now if I hover over the button color gets a little bit brighter. On the left, we also have the hover animation. I like to change this from none to the first option at the top, which is grow. So now if I hover my mouse here, the button comes off the page a little bit and gets a little bit brighter. Next, we can configure how our button shape looks. And you'll do that by adjusting the border radius and padding. So right now, if I go to border radius and bring the value up, you'll see it kind of shrinks the corners of the button. It makes it less square and a bit more rounded. So I'm going to set this to 15. Next, we'll adjust the padding. So I'll adjust the padding here. And as you can see, as I increase the value, it's going to make the button larger. So once again, I'm going to bring this down. And I think 18 looks just about right. And right now these values are linked. So for example, if you click on this icon here, it's going to unlink the values. And I can adjust the values for the padding independently. So let's say I want the left and right sides to be a little bit smaller than the top and bottom. I can go to the left value here, and I could set this from 18 to let's say 14. And I'll do the same thing for the right. And now the button is going to be larger on the top and bottom. You can do the same thing for the border radius as well. Okay, now that our button is looking good visually, the last thing we need to do is make sure it's linking to the correct page. So scroll up to the top and click on content. And then for link, we want to make sure that this is set to the shop page. So type in shop, click on the shop page here. And now when somebody clicks on shop now, it's going to bring them to your products page.